Welcome back, everybody, to the Valorant Game Changers presented to you by Verizon. I am Sajidine, and keeping me company on the analyst desk right now is Gompers. We're going to be attempting to big brain this. Gompers, for sure, you're going to be big brain. I'm going to be little brain over here, but all good, no worries. Now, I do want to take a peek first at some of the teams that have now advanced after today's performances into the next round of this event, because that's going to be some nice real little names over here. Gompers, what are you feeling? Like, are you excited for any of these teams moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, we recently saw Having Fun, and it was a fun game. Everyone's probably cringing because we've been saying that nonstop already. But Teddy Tactics, right? We saw their performance before, and looking back at it, it wasn't the strongest, but it was still good.
So good indeed. And I mean, a name or an org that we're not seeing here, I believe they're already letting go of their players on their Twitter, is DSG, as ShiftX has absolutely come back and managed to advance by taking them down, which I'm very happy for them, because I'm glad that they got to rally up and reset after yesterday's performance and managed to pull through for day number 2. But two teams that you're seeing on this screen here are going to be making an appearance on this stream right now. It is VALORANT versus Karma to battle things out for you in this best of 3 here. Oh, I'm very excited about this particular matchup. Both rosters have really amazing people that I have watched grow throughout Game Changers, Gompers. I mean, two that I want to highlight in particular, and I just want to know what your thoughts are on them, are Emily and Zoe, who I believe is going by Scratches right now.
Ooh. Yeah, and this team of VALORANT, they've been together for a while so far, but they've had such a difficult run moving up into this part of the series, right? You can see Team Karma, they're very dominant, but Emily versus Scratches, you're looking at these initiators, and you're looking at just the overall capacity that these players can play at. You see Scratches down with that ACS of 207, and you can kind of compare and contrast from here on out. Yeah, Emily is getting those picks down, but Scratches has a lot of that impact playing into VALORANT. Although with Team Karma's run, I'm gonna have to see something like that come through in this game, because Team Karma is gonna be a very hard team to beat.
Absolutely. And I'm curious to see like what their map picks and bans are going to look like, because I know that Team Karma, they really like Pearl, and I'm a little worried for VALORANT because they have banned that out. So I'm curious to see if that's going to be sliding its way through in the maps incoming. But also something to note that while we do still have Scratches on the screen, they play a bit of a flex sometimes, rocking that smokes as well, like from yesterday. So
yeah,
it's going to be a very interesting. I feel like these two teams in particular should be pretty close, but it just really comes down to the maps that we're going to get and how strong they are here. Now, Gompers, I called out the Pearl if this is something that we're going to see. Is there something perhaps that you're looking forward to, not forward to? Something that maybe can enable a Gecko to come into play here? I'm still hoping. I haven't seen one.
I know. I know you have that hopium, which is... listen, I mean, Tanner had that hopium too yesterday, right? And I do think we'll see it eventually, so don't let your host down. But for now, I think we better call it quits in the open qualifiers. I don't think anybody's reaching out for that Gecko. I mean, we've seen it in open play. We've seen it in general played a couple times within Game Changers, but the biggest thing to me is, obviously Emily's probably either going to be playing, the KO coming in, and we're most likely going to be seeing just the typical compositions coming out from Team Karma, which is just following alongside the meta. It has never shifted from that, other than continuously keeping that KO really heavily down inside of their side pocket. But for VALORANT as well, it's nothing straying away from the norm, and to implement Gecko so early on in these open qualifiers when it is a newer character. It's very difficult to feel confident moving forward with that. But I am hoping eventually that we do get to see that Gecko.
Definitely hoping. And I know both teams are coming into this hot as well. They already had like some matches or a series today that they've played out, and now they're going to be facing off against each other. A bit of a shout out though, because I've been watching Emily for a while, always been a big fan of that KO spam. She's added a new repertoire with that breach as well. So I'm curious to see how that's going to be playing out for her. I really do like the fact that hero pool has expanded by one, perhaps, so it's all good in the hood here. Now let's talk about the upcoming maps that we have, because I know that is already ready and available for us here. I called it and I talked about it earlier, that Pearl coming in, but the first one here is Lotus. I love this map, and I've seen a lot of Gecko in my games, but that might not necessarily mean anything here, Gompers. What sort of compositions are we going to be looking to see at Lotus, which is that Valeris pick?
Oh, man. First of all, I'm even excited that we actually get to see this Lotus. And I'm not going to lie to you. Looking at this Lotus pick, I do feel like, is there potential for a Gecko here? I hope so. I think with the new map, obviously there are metas that are untouched here. Everybody's trying to find their way into a map like Lotus. We're probably going to be able to see that Killjoy come down. I feel like as a Sentinel, Killjoy offers the most, especially as Lotus is a very big, heavy flank kind of map. So you have to be very aware of what's going on. And there's so many entry points that it gets overwhelming sometimes. So playing on that attacking side, you need that insurance to feel comfortable. I do feel like Gecko here would be such a big detrimental factor. Gecko's util can help you tremendously with early information, leading up onto site or even post plants, right? With getting the defusal and allowing for fake outs, right? It's things like that I feel like can really add on to the effect of Lotus.
Absolutely. I'm very excited. I'm so glad, honestly, that these two teams are giving us a showcase of these two new maps coming into this. We have Lotus to start, and now we're also going to be seeing Pearl. I mean, okay, I know I personally, I love it just because I'm a Killjoy spammer. Both maps tend to do well for me. And we've highlighted the two initiators and Flex, I suppose. Curious to see, it also is going to come down to what sort of control for these maps we're going to be seeing, right? Gompers, are we going to be seeing the standard Killjoy or Sage comps, matching up with them, Vipers? What's the story here? What do you predict?
If I'm predicting something, I'm predicting I was gonna say a Fade. No, I'm feeling pretty confident about the Fade. I think Fade offers a lot on this map. Obviously, I really do feel like it's either going to be that Cypher or Killjoy as that Sentinel to carry on through. If we're talking about the Sage, in my opinion, I find Sage as well to have a lot of impact down towards, C site. But for me personally, it's not the strongest on a map like Lotus. A lot of people could disagree, but I don't find as much value as I would find per se. Her slows in particular help you a lot, but I do feel like that's pretty much the gist of what we're going to be seeing. That Killjoy, that Fade coming through, the Jet 100%. Obviously, if somebody pulls out a Chamber, I am pulling out of this game. I don't want to see Chamber with the nurse. He's just very difficult to play. I don't recommend it. I don't like it.
All right, well then we're fingers crossing ourselves here as we get ready for this matchup. No Chamber, but please bring us a Gecko so we could see our lovely wingman. So we do have the lovely Wyatt and a evil cat, aka Mimi, on the casting desk right now. Casters, bring us that game.
Thanks very much. Yeah, we're just around the corner from hopping into map number 1 here. And Wyatt, I wanted to hear your thoughts on these two teams heading into this, because I feel like these map choices are somewhat surprising.
Yeah, definitely. That's the main takeaway here for me heading into this is map picks and bans. Hella weird. Neither of these teams ever really play the maps that they picked. So we'll have to see what happens. It started off with the map pick ban. Both teams just getting rid of a good map for the opposing side. That makes sense. And then these two maps, Lotus and Pearl. Specifically now we're starting out here on Lotus. Both teams have only played it once. So not exactly a lot of information as to what we're going to be seeing here. It looks like, though, there are going to be these similar comps coming out. Team Karma like to play this sort of synergistic Raze-led effort that, involves Astra and Breach utility sinks. And then also this Chamber, which has seen some value on Lotus, honestly, one of the only maps in the pool where you're kind of seeing him still post nerf be played at all. And then on the other side for VEL, it's hard to, I mean, I was going to say a little bit more standard. There's not really a standard for this map yet, is there? But just a little bit less experimental, maybe, is the proper way to say it.
Yeah, I feel like both these teams are kind of experimenting with something different. I think we've seen thus far at like the top level on this map, most people are playing the double controller comps, normally an Omen and a Viper. A lot of teams are moving in the direction of playing the Raze on the map, like Team Karma is. But it's a Jet for Starbound instead. And this chamber choice is also very interesting, especially since it's going to be that attack side start. I imagine most of the ideas on the attack side are around kind of positioning your chamber towards a lobby, baiting out utility there, and being able to teleport away. But we'll see what they have cooked up as we hop into things here. Map number 1 in the bracket phase. It's going to be Team Valaris versus Team Karma. It looks like they're headed early towards B here, Wyatt.
Yeah, I'll tell you though, I am excited to see what Hannah can do on this chamber. A sentinel role that'll typically allow for more fragging immediately. Oh my god! The first bullet fired of the game connects in pretty spectacular fashion. And look at this fast hit coming into B. I already like what I'm seeing. This double satchel forward, the sky flash through. K not gonna opt to take what could have been another aggressive peek, which I like that reserved kind of decision here. Hannah still on this lurk, does get cleared out, and now we're gonna be into a 4-on-4 retake.
It's going to be 2 players flanking back around and 2 heading through that small door. Team Karma have a setup deep, holding top site on A. And now they realize that this flank is coming. What is the reaction? Do they commit to try and fight one side? Paranoia comes through, 2 players swinging forward, but they're tucked behind that box. Ellie finds one, trades for a second as her teammates fall around her. And now both her and Emily very much separated. It's 2 versus 2, and it's only Emily as Starlight finds a 3K off of the flank and wins a pistol round on a retake here.
Yeah, a lot of those fights at the end, honestly coming, you don't see this often, but honestly coming down to a lot of the gun difference a bit. Those classic bullets were connecting, but not actually netting any kills. On the opposite side, those ghosts that were also connecting, finding the kills. You know, Team Karma opting to invest in a lot of utility. Their comp is crazy utility heavy with the Sky, the Breach, the Raze, the Astra, all of that investment left them with these slightly inferior weapons, which in those straight up duels actually kind of cost them. But I did love how they initially entered into the site and were using the utility they had.
Yeah, it was some good ideas. I think a lot of the issues did come down to that B post plant, which we've seen a lot thus far on this map can be quite tricky. You need to push space elsewhere to try and hold on to that post, but if you get reflanked, things can get messy. Again, it will be that fast hit towards B. Spike is coming down. So it's going to be another retake, but this one, again, is getting weird. Already a Raze push deep into spawn, but Team Valaris containing that well. K is really the only difference maker in this round, is that chamber player of Hana still so far away. Princess Icy already holding the spike to half, and they'll wrap this eco round up nice and quickly. Shouldn't be any time for Hana to get anything done, and that's a quick and easy 2-0 start there.
Yeah, good beginning here for Valaris against Team Karma, a squad with a lot of seriously experienced players just in the TAC FPS sphere in general. Emily, Rain, Hannah competing with Gen G and Game Changers for so long, always putting up crazy numbers on the Sentinel role. And Valaris kind of on the opposite end, you know, a couple experienced players, but some strong upcomers. Princess Icy, Starbound.
And really Avery as well. There's a lot of young fraggers on this team. Scratches was previously known as Zoe in this scene. And will be joined there with current IGL of the team, Starlight. So you have the leadership there and the younger players as well. But so that experience definitely leans the side of Team Kara that they can toss core together for so incredibly long. And it's again gonna come to one of these retakes, 5 versus 5. Seems like Team Valaris is putting a lot of emphasis on these late round reflanks.
I like this plant spot here from Team Karma. It's going to allow them to play out there by the mound and just, you know, able to take those longer range gun duels when players are trying to defuse the spike. And look at this crossfire on 3 players just lined up for Hannah. It doesn't get easier than that. Knocking them down like dominoes.
One enemy remaining.
Starbound now trying to make something happen in the 1v2. if there was a player on Valaris you might want in a situation, it certainly could be Starbound. But again, Hannah is just looking absolutely fierce on this chamber, and it's what I was saying earlier, baby. What I was saying all the way back at the beginning when her first bullet was a kill, but her stats on the other Sentinel rolls, the Cypher, the Killjoy, are genuinely crazy. Over a 0.9 kill per round on Cypher, 0.86 or so on Killjoy, and now on an agent like Chamber, the Sentinel that allows you to pop off, you really could just see, you know, a situation where she takes this game over single-handedly.
And it seems like she's going to continue to do that, immediately popping toward a force, but she strings straight into Starbound and gets taken down, maybe not fully realizing that operator could be online already. They're just trying to take the aim duel and losing out on it. That now puts Team Karma in a pretty tough position. And I think this kind of brings up the conversation of the downfalls of this chamber. Because for me, what I've seen thus far is most teams on attack, the kind of only idea is either towards B or towards A. We swing for an early fight. We swing to bait out utility. And if that fails, it's kind of hard to get that consistency because you don't have the flank control that you normally get with the Killjoy or the Cypher on this map, and you don't really get that that player who's going to be consistently going and finding those lurk timings that can be so prevalent here on Lotus.
Yeah, you can see here as well now. Look at this, 50 seconds on the clock and really no space taken. They got to be scared about Starbound still holding this angle that she won in that duel with the operator. Starbound is pretty close by at this point, is so late into the round now. Karma starting to take space towards A, and with no time on the clock, the entire defensive rotation comes in. Breach ult connecting with absolute air over on the A site. 30 seconds. Ellie, though, with a nice pick. Starbound perhaps getting a little too aggressive, and yeah, that flank coming in.
It's again this very fast flank from Team Valaris. They'll pop an ult to go in. This is going to be a split. The players on site under so much pressure. Scratches, takes her a second to find the aim, but Rain is really locked out of this one. No ears, being pounded down by utility. She'll find a kill, but she has no idea that Avery is just holding on to this spike, and it's too little, too late. A swift retake for Team Valaris. It seems like Team Karma are going to have to get a handle on these reflanks, because that's already, I think, the third round where we've seen one of them succeed.
Yeah, that round just came down so much to Valaris and their excellent map control over towards C. That early Cypher cam, taking control of Mound, double stacking there, just getting them so much information. As soon as that pressure came in towards A, the amount of time that they burned off the clock, they just had the fast rotate there. We're ready for that fast rotate.
Oh, played out towards C long this time. Team Karma want to contest that space. Dog nades, there's a lot of pressure on these players. Dash is activated, but Starbound doesn't really leave quite yet, trying to stick around for a shot, and she doesn't find her opportunity. So the battle for C long is won by Team Karma, but they didn't want to commit off that. They just wanted to contain the space.
I like this response from Team Karma for sure. They have the utility to fight heavy early for these extremities, you know, using those sky flashes that can recharge, using the breach stun, which can recharge, and just trying to punish those Valaris players if they get too aggressive. They just have that aggressive utility to do so.
And they're going to make an opening here in the small door and find a pivot towards this B site, but Team Valaris very fast on this one. Scratch is already in heaven. She gets one kill here. They'll have that Rolling Thunder available, but right now, no flashes, no fault line, nothing to really get through this smoke except the Prowler. They're just going to be patient for the moment. Wait for that smoke to fall. Who does the timing favor? Starbound, other side, operator up. And Starlight for a second. They're just going to swarm their way into this site, but Raina's found a cap. Re-push through the small door and might be able to pinch this late. Round one, killed through for Scratch. Starlight there as well, and they will lock things down. Looked shaky for a second, but the anti-eco successful.
Scratch is just falling down, spraying the Phantom, connects the headshot. Sure, the game is fine. The game is totally fine.
Reasonable.
I like the idea, though, from Karma trying to get that beat plant in the most close quarters, claustrophobic area on the map where you've got the Stingers and the SMGs. That's where you want to take the fight, so that even still, Starbound close range with the operator, able to find that opening, super nice. And now Valaris with that early lead. I mean, so far we've seen the utility from the Team Karma side be so effective in towards B. I like that response on C long, but these Valaris retakes are looking so clean.
Yeah, Team Karma will take a timeout. Time to get the coaches in the conversation. For Team Karma, the duo between Emilitas at IGL and the coach has gone back a long, long way. That core duo of XP3, Rain, Emily, coming over from Dignitas, playing together even before VALORANT. They're going to try and find that solution here. And for me, I feel like a lot of that might have to fall in doing what they were doing last round, in contending with the extremity control. If you get that space, deny these fast reflanks, and then get yourself set up in a strong post plant, maybe a better chance. But thus far, they've been going for a lot of these B hits, which haven't really felt very successful. It's super hard to hold that site in the post.
We're going to see what they try and set up for here on this round. It looks like more of an effort going to be coming in towards A. This is previously where Starbound was able to find that early pick. This is one area on the map where, you know, the open geography just lends itself towards the operator, but fast smoke satchel across. Flash a little bit mistimed, but it's not going to punish K. The door is broken into B, and again, it is just all of this utility. That counter breach ult is so nice, though, from the defensive side. Gonna get them that first pick. Karma trying to still flood into this B site yet again, favoring it so heavily. Scratches with a crucial pick onto Ellie, keeping it in the 4v3, and now they're gonna regroup behind this Astra Wall. Not gonna get ahead of themselves, using that attacking Astra Wall as a bit of a safety precaution for their own side, the defenders. Now things are gonna slow down a bit here with a minute on the clock.
Again, Team Karma's read seems to be go for these splits into B, but look at this timing. Rain might have it onto Icy. She's not even looking the right direction. Free kill to even the odds. That's a big gap to be missed. Starlight's jiggle not quite right timed to find Rain in that position. She might actually go hunting for more here. It's something to keep the positioning even. Two players go towards the top side, but Scratches has full utility. Take this not for long. She's down. Emily swings a second, and now it's just Starlight. Her position already noted. And a 1 versus 3 on the cards will try and come through, but it's Emily again. 3K for the breach player, and finally a post plant converted for Team Karma.
For the first time, really, on that B post plant situation, we saw Team Karma be a bit more proactive. Emily and Rain, that was kind of finding the flaw in what was hurting those post plant situations before, just stacking up inside the site, not able to deal with the retakers flooding in. This time they just took matters into their own hands, though. Found that nice timing, able to find those picks. I like the adjustment. It's a small one, but it's going to net them that round win.
A gift.
And this round, Team Karma are going to, again, take things a little bit slower in the beginning. They're not actually fighting for space towards A or towards Mound. And I think this Mound fight is going to continue to be a really important part of this game, because for Team Valaris, this Jet, okay, little bit of a weird timing there for Starlight, just trying to take the orb inside her teammate's Cloudburst, and that one gets punished. So it's just going to be 4 players flanking as Valaris is trying to sprint into this A site. If the timing is right, this round could just become a fight for A lobby, and look how far up Starbound is. She's already here to try and take the brawl.
Yeah, that stun was there from the Astra. They know that these flanking players are coming. Hannah just hears all of this, and she's going to find that timing, gets one. Not actually able to convert on the second. Somehow Princess Icy picks up 2, and Scratches from the defender's spawn coming in late, finds that first pick, staying alive. Good stun coming through, but getting chased down by a stunned, hopping Raze with the shorty. Now we're in this 2v2. They have a crossfire set up, but Starbound with the smokes down, the cage is down, trying to break this crossfire, isolate a 1v1, and isolate if they do. Rain caught out alone, needed to win that fight, but couldn't. And now K, 1v2 goes down to Starbound. How the hell did they turn that around? Princess Icy, those Sheriff kills. Hannah was really in position to win it out too. Just that whiff was so punishing.
Yeah, and I mean, even before that, the reaction from Team Karma is just so incredibly slow. They see the push coming from C, they punish onto the initial player and have a good reaction to head back towards A, but they take their sweet time trying to clear that space, and in doing so, allow themselves to get wrapped by that fast flank. So it's another one of these rounds where the reflanks are punishing for the side of Team Karma. I would love to see them try and pick things up in some of these reactions. You get your piece of info, you push through, take the space deeper into spawn. They were doing that on some of the B rounds, and that was where they were actually finding success. But now, up losing that eco, they're down to a pretty rough buy here.
Yeah, both of these teams as well, exchanging such scrappy rounds. So many players going down. economy has been kept pretty honest for both sides. Fast hit into C now. First time we're seeing that on the eco. Stinger, Raze ult, one rifle in the hands of Hannah. See if she might be the difference maker here. Gonna make up for that whiff from the previous round, but no chance in hell when Starlight just hits the first bullet like that. 5-on-4 retake now.
Fire in the hole!
Weaponry, pretty poor. Will this Raze ult make the difference? Oh, it won't. Damage around the corner. Scratch is an icy weak, but not gonna be enough.
A breach ult to react here as well. They're trying to push off this flank, and Brain still managed to find one. Avery, a big whiff, allows Emily to find a frag. This was just pistols heading in, and it's all starting to fall apart. That timer is ticking, and Ellie has 2 with a ghost. There's only 1 left standing. This has been an absolute catastrophe for the side of Team Karma. I mean, how did they manage to pull that off?
That is really unfortunate for that Valaris squad. I mean, they were really set up for that retake, but it's really just some missed shots. And honestly, despite that Raze ult not actually finding any kills on its own, it just did so much damage to 2 of those Valaris players that they both got one-tapped by the ghost, except the shots were in the body doing 30 damage. So it was just easy to pick those 2 up for Ellie.
Yeah, it absolutely was. And again, it's going to be this brawl towards C long. Team Karma have realized that, hey, maybe C is pretty weak. They're not going for that mount fight. They don't have a lot of utility to stall. And that will be the direction they head again. This time, Hannah very aware of the possibility of a flank. And it will come. A chamber trip should get activated in a second. Or at least she should hear that cloud burst. Turns around, holds the angle, and finds her kill. A second on the other side. And it's being pinched here, but the Omen player is actually leaving her. Reinforcements have arrived, and so that's just a clean kill. No trade possible.
Yeah, well done from Hannah. I mean, the aggression on both sides is just ruthless.
Blinded.
Fighting for map control so heavily early, and I love these sight hits from Team Karma. I love the way the K is using the blast packs to get in off the just absurd amount of utility that this comp allows. Just how effective it is at setting your duelist up. Avery gonna claim 1 kill, but surely it doesn't matter. Oh my god, what a flick.
Ellie is gross with it. Finds herself a big frag, and Avery's just worried about way too many angles here this round. Seems nigh on unwinnable. Team Karma have found their weakness, and it looks like they might just continue to exploit it. You mentioned how good Hannah was in that situation, but I love the team's reactions in that round. They see Hannah in trouble, they move back to support her. She manages to get her kill for free. Avery has absolutely no shot in this one. Just gonna get spammed on down, and Team Karma will get a 4th round. The eco for eco leads to almost even territory at 5-4.
I just love that you can really see the effort put in right now from Team Karma in regards to the server time, the prep, you know? The credit there goes to Emily or Coach XP3. Either way, they've clearly done a good job at trying to piece this together here. And I mean, on the other side too, Valaris now in the timeout. Their coach, Kath, another player with just so much experience, years in the TAC FPS scene. And that's the exact kind of coach that you want for a team like this, you know?
Yeah.
A couple players that are really having their first chance on a team that's doing damage in Game Changers, has a chance to make a deep run. You need that experience to hone those talents.
And Kath, before she was a coach, she was a player, and she has played against Emily Rain back when they were on Dignitas many times in some of the early Game Changers tournaments, and I'm sure even before Valorant as well, so maybe trying to get a read on the IGL of the opposite team here. Once the timeout does run down, my question is, how is Team Valaris going to change things up? Early, their solution was fast pressure towards Mound, take that space, and go for these fast flanks. They've also had some looks where they've gone for a bit more of A aggression, leaving that B side a little bit weaker and playing retake. It seems here they might just be bridging the middle, setting up the off on B to react off that tripwire and kind of feigning some of that utility towards C. And so they had the fault line ready there, but don't commit to it. It is just going to be a retake. Starbound is in the right position, but the utility is just too much for her to contend with.
Yeah, there's just nothing you can do in these situations, these fast hits. So much util coming in. I mean, we keep talking about it, but just makes taking these sites so easy, always forcing Valaris to play the retakes, and they actually baited out the Fade ult from Starlight. Such a powerful ult, just off the table now, early into the round.
Got your trail.
And I love how Team Karma are playing this so differently. Just getting K in this position. All right, a little bit of a sloppy flash there. We're going to ignore that. No. Oh my god, Starbound with a close range shot. I love how K was swinging that off the Seekers as well. But somehow in these close range scenarios, the op for Starbound always looking like a judge, always getting these close range kills.
Oh, Icy cannot get the trade just yet onto Scratches, but Starlight on the other side has ran through and found one of her own. It's Ring Around the Rosie. Icy has to come all the way back behind support her team, who's currently falling to the operator of Hannah. Trade is there. Avery around the corner trying to find hers, but Hannah pulls out the chamber. Sheriff trying to spam away with that headhunter, but the time is just running low. Needs a headshot now. There's just not enough bullets in that headhunter. A 6th round, another retake for Valaris.
Again, it's just the same story. I feel like I'm reading the same chapter over and over. Team Karma. These awesome ideas, these big site executes. I love how they slowed it down on that round. Just let K kind of chill in the site, see if anyone was going to over push. And honestly, I loved how they set that up for her to try to get the kill on Starbound, but somehow Starbound with the op is just getting these kills over and over on B, the smallest area on the map. Is so consistent with it. It is pretty mental.
Yeah. It's gonna be almost a mirror of last round. Skydog deep on B, break the tripwire, throw a nade, but this time they don't commit off of it. Instead, it looks like they might actually want to go and test Starbound's operator. They're just holding towards C. She's getting pinched. Revolving door open. A flash tries to support her, but instead she just ends up stuck in this corner, and the trade is too far away. Raise satchels through the tripwire. Just gonna go above her head. And Team Valaris are gonna have to play a retake here, but they want to flood it fast. Rolling Thunder is through a second ultimate to reply as well. Scratches finds one. She's knocked off the line. Hannah's there for a trade, and Kay will keep on swinging, keep on fighting, and the movement perfect to find hers. There's even utility to continue. Shorty is out though, and Icy will reply, making things somewhat doable here. 1 versus 3, but Hannah's out flanking, and Rain is holding the round. Will fall into the hands of Team Karma.
Last round
just
in the half.
Absolute earthquake on the C site with breach ults being exchanged. And again, I love these set plays from Team Karma. They are so cool. I love the way that they took Mound that round, pressuring the player holding the angle by faking that there was going to be a play through the door and then getting kind of baited, rather, by that door starting to open. The breach flash comes in. Perfect blind. Just those little moments like that have been paying dividends for this team, and now a chance to try and make it 6-6 before the half switches. Fast take here over in the A yard from Karma.
And this is a change-up too, because thus far Team Valaris have often been like teleporting their omen forward, fighting in long, but they kind of read that it's not going to happen this round. Instead, Team Karma is allowed to just kind of slowly walk up and take this space, and now look to split into a fairly soft A site here.
Hawk out! You want to fight it!
Astrowall gonna go up, divide this A site. Starbound just lying in wait behind it. Just posturing, waiting for Ellie to maybe make this peak. Ellie about to get that flashback up, and she's gonna go for it. Flash through the wall, and now Starbound just trying to dodge around it. What the hell is happening with that wall? Ellie pushes all the way through and gets 2! There's no way in hell she should be getting 2 things there. That is absurd.
A
And
third.
Oh my god.
That's ridiculous.
Play.
I have no idea how Ellie has managed to pull that one off, but that's just the icing on the cake. Team Valaris, they have a shot at this one, maybe. Hannah's down, but that timer is already so far gone, and these players are so incredibly far away from that spike.
One enemy remaining.
Ellie ready to swing for more, but Kay might just get the job done. One kill there. Emily to second. We land 6-6, perfectly even on the half.
Switching sides.
I think it's only right that this half actually evens out at 6-6, to be honest. I think we've seen plenty of impressive moments from both teams at this side. An electric first half. I mean, just some awesome set plays from Karma. Some great responses to those set plays, just on the fly from Valaris. Moments like these from Hannah, Starbound as well.
One enemy
Just an excellent first half on so many accounts.
Yeah, really incredible stuff from both of these squads. And now as we start to look towards the second half, my main question is, what's the Chamber going to do? What's the idea? In the past, when we've seen people play this Chamber, like when Cloud9 was playing it back when they had Ye, he was always taking this fight towards C Long, just using that rendezvous to completely control this space. And as you can see here as well, you can leave your tripwire, and even if you teleport off, you hold that space. But that's not where this round will land. Team Valaris instead are taking us towards the B site and fast-footing deep, but the reaction is fantastic. Karma
down.
through the revolving door with nice utility means that, hey, Icy might be out behind you in C, you might have a Jet reflanking, but the spike is on the floor outside of this B site, and that is well in the control of Team Karma. For now.
Yeah, it's just up to Karma to try to get this plant now. They've rotated on to C. Emily waiting, gets the info. Oh, nice 2 headshots onto Starbound, claiming that kill. 4 on 2 now. 50 seconds on the clock. The plant is going to go down.
Spike planted.
And now about to hit that 4 on 2 retake. 2 from each angle. Scratches with the first. In a weak, Emily has an opportunity for another, but the other 2 from that flank able to clean it up. K making it look easy. I like the response from Team Karma on the B site there. K doing a really nice job anchoring that area, getting good info with the boombot after the fact. The rotation was nice. The retake setup was nice. Karma's still just playing some damn impressive rounds here.
Yeah, they really are. And the mid-round decision-making as well has been so nice from them. They hear pressure towards that B side after taking C, and they immediately split through from the revolving door, then give up that space and play full retake onto C. Just really nice stuff. This is a team who has kind of recently had some additions. That is the first new team in a while for players like Hannah. You were talking about it earlier. She's spent pretty much her entire VALORANT team just on Gen G, but seems like she's fitting right in here at Team Karma. As again, it'll be a heavy fight towards C, and oh, the utility to fight back in is just perfect. Raise nade stun, K swings for 2, Hannah's there to mop up her own. A beautiful reaction.
Just such a nice setup. You've seen it on the last 2 rounds now. That defensive breach, Emily just waiting over in that C to B connector, aimed at the wall because she's ready to just dump utility into the C mound area. Support Hannah, support K in that fight. And again, it's just, to me, it's the experience and the preparation. And I respect Valaris just playing so confidently against just tenured veterans like there are on Team Karma. But at the end of the day, I really feel like the story of this game has just been preparation, the setups, and the coordination here in regards to the utility and how these Karma players are playing off each other, how they're setting up Hannah, setting up K.
Yeah, Lotus is a map where you have to have those ideas, you have to have those set plays, and we have seen some of that from Valaris in their first half. I like the game plan, the way they were fighting for Mound, the way that they were reflanking, but let's see what they've cooked up on their attack now. They're going to try and fight for space in a lobby, but besides the Omen being able to teleport across, no one else is really able to contest. Early flash is perfect though, and Avery isolates a kill onto Hannah. That's such a good read that the Chamber player could be playing there.
Yeah, really nice way to take this A yard. Take the ult orb as well. And now they're just going to back off. Force Karma to have to re-clear it if they want that info. Actually, Avery going to be on that lurk now, waiting to see if that re-clear does come in into A yard. Maybe get another pick. I'm not sure if that dog spotted her. It might have just been out of range.
Bring them down.
Super hard to tell. And now the rest of Valaris working back through spawn, trying to go towards B. The flash catches them, so that's just going to give that info off the audio cue to the defensive side in the 4v5. Still now, 40 seconds on the clock. Time is getting low, and they're working back towards A, where K just wanted a little bit of a peek for info. They had no idea what the hell's been happening in Yard, and Emily down as well. Gonna make the site as free as it can be.
Left.
5 on 2. This round should be a wrap.
Oh, Starbound pushing for more as well. Clean kill onto Ellie. And it's just going to be Rain left. A 1 versus 5. Only a Spectre. This round very much beyond even her. We'll at least find one though, but damage is already done. And Valaris mopped that one up nicely. I like the initial idea from Team Karma. I think some creative stuff being shown there with the chamber. Put the teleport one side of the little door, go run around and peek from the other. Have your chamber trip holding towards B. But at the end of the day, the utility combo and just the little methodology they had to take a lobby was better from the side of the attack.
Yeah, definitely. I like how the VALORANT team is rotating around the map, clearing out areas, making that presence toward B, just giving the false info off that Skyflash audio cue from the defense, and now looks like they might attempt to go for Yard again. No, just gonna send in the haunt, try and fake like they're gonna make a little bit of a presence there. Princess Icy watching that flank towards the C mound is again now the team gonna rotate it back around. We'll see if they end up attempting to finish C or, you know, there's a lot of time on the clock. They don't have to make any hasty decisions.
Yeah, if this does land on a C committal, Team Karma is just playing for a retake. You see Rain there, holding a tight angle on main. She has potential to just hop her way back towards defender spawn if she gets pressured, and that's exactly what will happen. See, now this round becomes kind of a story of the retake, and of what space does VALORANT take in this post? It looks like they want to push through. Is there a flash for Starbound? Can she get ahead of this one? Tries to, but the Phantom Span just takes her down, and now Kay is here. Showstopper over the top, finds nothing. But that's a space retaken, and that's Princess Icy low. VALORANT is stuck on this one. Starlight trying to fight forward. The flash from Ellie is perfection. And now there's only 3. Someone has to make a play here. Someone has to step up, but they're being shut down. Kay through the box finds Avery, and she'll satchel forward for a second. That retake is perfection for Team Karma.
We're going to see a similar thing on defense with these big retakes as we did on offense, maybe. Again, it's just the amount of utility this team has in these little condensed areas, C and B. The breach utility, the sky utility, the raise utility, all of it is just a nightmare to deal with. And the way that Kay is able to make space and get in the site with the satchels off all of that. VALORANT's best chance are going to be rounds like the previous, where they rotate heavily around the map. They try and find a pick here and there. I think if they end up in these situations continuously, these big retakes, 4-on-4, 5-on-5, they're going to be in a lot of trouble because Team Karma are just way too regimented in those situations.
Yeah, and you saw that Team VALORANT kind of recognize that and want to make a play forward with that spawn push, but Rain is just too aware and was ready to spam down that angle, and that's actually how that retake even started. So Team Karma, I think, again, like you were talking about, that experience is definitely showing. VALORANT is, I think, just trying to break the chamber trip here, but they actually haven't been successful at doing that until now. Last second, that gets spammed away. Now they're walking into Hannah on this line. She misses her shot, though, and has to teleport away. So A is the weak site now. Emily very much alone, sitting inside of that tree room, will gain support from Kay rotating in.
Yeah, just under a minute now on the clock. The spike for the attackers in the spawn, rotating towards C. They made all this noise on A. The defenders scattered about at this moment. A couple of them in B. Still Emily over towards A, and now Starbound trying to find some kind of cheeky pick. Maybe make a bit of noise.
Oh.
Fake, but this could be going into B, but again, how the hell does this keep happening? These close range situations with the off. Starbound down. The C hit is going to come in with 20 seconds left. They're going to get the spike down, but are we just going to see the same story play out here, Mimi? 5-on-4 retake and a hell of a lot of utility to make it happen.
Oh, the flash is good, though, this time. Avery gets the first onto Ellie, but Emily has actually found a trade back. That's the lurker of Icy down. So 4 versus 3, and VALORANT knows that they still need to make a play somewhere, that they need to find an advantage. Could it be Starlight holding on the angle? She's swung by Avery. And Hannah goes down. So that's the odds even, but Rain comes back in, finds one with Kay in support. Avery now all alone, and she's Asterwald off the blast back is what kills her. Team Karma, another retake. They are unstoppable in the post plant, Wyatt.
Oh, no. That is
not
an
the
unlucky way
pack.
to end the round. Not the blast back. Those do like 4 damage now, not like this, but VALORANT, honestly, with a chance to win that one off the fade ult, the pick from it, but they just ended up in being caught in such an awkward position here, getting, you know, two of them kind of stacked up in this connector area, and then a 1v1 on the site from Avery that those teammates just couldn't help them in that situation. So now back on to the eco.
And again, Hellman will teleport across. Avery gets the space. This time, no chamber holding the line. Hannah was set up towards C initially. It looks like Team Karma might just want to like play a flood retake here. They're giving a little bit of space, a little bit of respect to this eco. But A was not the final destination. Instead, it's a pivot back towards his B side as Starlight will get the plant down.
Spike planted.
Plant is down. 5-on-5 retake. Stinger close range could be all right. A lot of ults. Well, look at this position from Avery. Gonna get traded out, but listen, a 1-for-1. You'll take that when all you've got is a sheriff, to be honest. And now these close range fights gonna ensue. Ellie winding up Starman, but again, a trade. Things are getting scrappy now in the 3v3. Oh my god, what the hell was that from Hannah? I don't even think she had any idea that Princess Ice was
No.
there. Now the spike is getting stuck. How are we down into a 1v1 with Starlight just so weak? Emily gonna finally wrap things up at the end there. I mean, yeah, B, the final destination, but things almost came crashing down for Karma. All good, though. They get away with it by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, that is a certified all good round, but it feels like in these post plants, I'd like to see Valaris going for more aggression. And I know they've gone for aggression before, and that's kind of failed, but more kind of coordinated aggression where you commit to space, and if you don't get something from it, you just hold the space instead of like kind of trying to find a different avenue and re-pushing for more. Because every time they're playing these on-site post plants, they're just getting overwhelmed by utility. They had a solid setup there. A couple players crossfired on the site, one lurking to hold the re-push through small door. But the trades at the end of the day were good enough that it was just a fight on the site. And the utility for Team Karma, again, is so good. When you get stuck in those choke points, it's just going to be Emily and Ellie spamming in flashes for Hannah and Kay to go kill.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's in those situations that I want to see Valaris, you know, play with the confidence that we saw them with at times on defense, you know, when they were aggressively taking space. You almost want them to push even further, take the fight to Karma before they're, you know, getting all of that utility out. When they're standing around trying to set up with it, that's when you want to take the fight to them. And even that being said, though, how difficult is it if you take the wrong route and you just wander into Hannah's crosshair? 11-7 now for Team Karma, excuse me. Just on the precipice here of locking up this first map.
Stun nade towards lobby. And then a teleport across. We've seen this dance 1,000 times, and it's again the same outcome of Avery just farming. They know that she's teleporting across. The play was to try and shut down the Omen, but the supporting utility was not really there for once for Kay. So we have an advantage to Team Valaris. 2 players up and site in their control.
Yeah, this is absolutely a must-win round for them. Icy as well, just going to get the info off the ult. Ellie trying to crack things open with a first. Icy, though, that has this really nice crossfire that should be the nail in the coffin on this round. Really well played from Icy there, just maintaining that position in the A yard, setting up a bit of a unexpected crossfire for those defender spawn rotators.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about it earlier, but Team Karma is running a solo Astra controller composition, which is super uncommon on this map. Most teams want to play that Omen to get the teleport for A lobby control, but they don't. And I think the way that they've been playing A lobby control thus far has been kind of unsuccessful, in part because of that. They don't have the gap close. Even if you're raised double satcheling in, the Omen TP still beats you on timing and you're losing. So I'd like to see them actually give up A lobby a little bit more and just play for these flood retakes, even towards that A side that they've been good at. But I'm in the past, Hannah's in the present. She's found another kill with her operator.
Face your fear!
Also, just a wallbang, as it's always been.
Oh, the Astra suck with the nade, so much damage. Oh my god, that wasn't even a good buy from Karma. It was just the perfect timing, the classic combo we've seen a million times over. the perfect timing with the grab. Well, the nade comes in. The amount of damage done. Every Valaris player just getting clogged up in that choke point. And they had a chance, maybe. They had them on the bad buy, but now it's them and economic strife. 2 sheriffs on this potentially final round.
Yeah, this one might just be over. Hannah again. Gonna try and take this fight towards a lobby. Rolling Thunder through. Showstopper for Kay. She's up and over the top. And finally, Avery is down. Revenge has been earned. But the pressure's still there. Hannah was forced off the line and Scratches trades. So all in all, that's 1 for 1. I'd say that's pretty positive with 2 ults used for the side of Team Valaris.
Yeah, not too bad to start things off and still so much time in this round.
Icy might have just found a crazy timing. I don't think Rain knows she's across.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, now they do. Those Seekers coming out at an optimal time, that's for sure. Now Icy in an awkward position. Rain wants to take the fight to her as Starlight gets another pick across the map. Oh my god, and Icy one taps Rain. All of a sudden, things have just swung back in the favor of Valaris. This map is not going to be over just yet.
Spike is coming down towards A. Hannah might have a shot here. Starbound jiggles it and unable to find the shot. That clock is ticking now on Icy's
Last
replay.
player standing.
If Team Karma can't get in quickly, they're going to be backstabbed and, well, they'll try and commit, but they're shut down. Scratches onto Ellie, and it's a 9th round, only 3 away from overtime. They're certainly not out of this one yet, especially since they have the breach ult into this round.
I like how they tried to deal with that Princess Icy flank over on C. Rain taking the fight. Of course, she's at the advantage there with the far superior weaponry, but you can never account for just hitting a 1-tap with the Sheriff. At the end of the day, this is just an FPS game. You can do everything right, but sometimes the other player just hits the perfect shot at the perfect time. And now a pivotal round we're in here, Mimi. Economy bad for Team Karma. Obviously still on match point. But if Valaris want to make a little bit of a comeback here to take this thing into overtime, this round is the crucial beginning. They could put Karma back on the eco.
Karma this time playing more passive on A. They don't want to fight lobby. Instead, they want to fight back in off this breach utility. Hey, walking up, ready to take a duel. The flash is perfect, but
Spike down
she only gets
A.
1. Trade comes back. And now Ellie might try and have her own go to play here. Around the corner onto the box. She's not aware of the jet player just on the other side, but she gets checked. Down she goes. Icy on the spam, and no one was there to support either. Emily was alone up towards Heaven. She'll take a duel and win it, but only 5 HP in the aftershock, pushing her into the open. Emily down. It's just Hannah and Rain, and now the question of going for this retake becomes difficult. It's an operator for Hannah. And it seems Valaris in a great post-fight position. Hannah makes noise, just waits to swing off, but the timing is perfection. And Rain is alone, 1 versus 3 situation. She's re-clearing space all the way back around, but she just doesn't have time for this one. I think it just has to be a save here.
Yeah, there's no play other than that. Seeing if maybe she can claim an exit kill at this point. And I mean, Hannah and Rain at the end there just stuck in a position where what is the right decision? You're in a 2v3. You have match point. But your economy's looking rough. Do you go for it? Do you save the operator and the Vandal? It's hard to pick for certain what the right answer is. Hannah thought she could pick up the rifle and make something happen. And listen, I'm not mad at the confidence of trying to win that, but I don't know if that's the percentage play.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it is. And even earlier in that round, I think we saw some blunders from Team Karma. They didn't fight A lobby that time. Instead, they wanted to play for that retake. Emily was just sitting up towards Heaven, but then Kay made this attempt at making a play off the flash, and she just swung into 3 players with no one there to trade her. I don't hate the idea of making a play, but the thing is you need someone to follow that up. You need someone to continue to trade. And that put Ellie in a situation where she just tried to walk up and make a play of her own. She falls. At that point, the round is all but over. It felt very fragmented in the ideas here for Team Karma, which is not what we've been seeing thus far this map.
Yeah, and at this point during the timeout, I just want to remind everyone that this is Team Valaris map pick here. And if Karma look this regimented, this well prepared on a map that they've only played in one other official. What do they have in store for VALORANT at this point when it actually goes to Pearl, their map pick? I mean, you have to imagine they just have a notepad full of strats ready to go, right? I mean, VALORANT, it feels like they really need to take this one.
It really does. They're 2 rounds away. And this one is just an eco for Team Karma, but they found an opening pick and they've dealt so much damage onto Avery. She's down to 24 HP. But Team Karma isn't going to continue the fight. Instead, they just reset, choose to play from their advantage here.
It's that one hero rifle from Rain and a confident decision to push out of that B site with 3 players claiming that advantage. Still, VALORANT absolutely win this. Hannah, though, you never know with the chamber. I know he's been nerfed, maybe, but he's still got a free better sheriff. So you never know with the chamber on these eco rounds. We might see flashbacks of Yay, flashbacks of last year. The never-ending meta, and my god, it's just the hero rifle again from Rain. Another flash. I mean, frankly, that could have been an opportunity to seal it with another pick, but the flash just a little bit mistimed with her. Now being forced back, a really nice stun for Starlight to find that pick. Fade ult online now. Emily caught by it. Oh my god, but the crossfires are just too good for Team Karma. It doesn't matter the weaponry they have. It doesn't matter the situation. They just look well set up for those moments over and over. I mean, a damn impressive map from them, and like I said, Mimi, you can only imagine that Pearl is going to be even better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the coordination that they showed on map number 1 was really fantastic for Team Karma. A couple moments where maybe they made a mistake or two, a round slipped away, but overall, once we switched sides, it felt like the map was in their control. And for Team VALORANT, now they're in a situation where they have to find answers, because they weren't really able to find that adaptation in time on Lotus. Losing that map in such close fashion is going to be brutal here. It's of course still double elimination, but now you head into Pearl, a map where you've not played a ton and you don't really know what your opponent's going to pull out.
Yeah, absolutely. Neither team, or rather, Karma literally have never played Pearl in a match, and it's their map pick. And they just brought out that many layered utility hits and plans on Lotus, which they've also only played once. So heading into this, there's not even rep that VALORANT can do. So that is worrying.
Yeah, it's absolutely a tough situation for them to be in, but they played it close game number 1, so maybe a chance for them to show us something interesting on Pearl. That'll be the second map in this series, and that'll be coming up after a short break and the analyst desk on the other side.
Red Bull gives you wings.